seriously, the DFY graphics team is fantastic. All right, game number 1, brand new best of 5, second last series of the day. Next up is Rainer versus Mana, but hold your horses, because this is probably going to be my favorite series today. To the bottom right, coming from Europe, we do have the Red Zerg, the Ukrainian Blai. Is rocking the primal skin set for this series. The top left, using those brand new war chest skins, the Tirador Terran, it's Thermostat, better known as uThermal. Now, apparently, these guys actually just played a game on Blai's stream. Blai hosted us earlier. Again, thank you so much to Blai for that. But apparently, these guys played a game on Blai's stream a little over an hour ago, and Blai actually won. But that isn't going to guarantee that that's how the series goes. That's an interesting point for me, though, because Blai's been doing really well. He's been killing it with a lot of Wardies events. He's been playing pretty well in ours, obviously, when we do get to see him. uThermal, there's a bit of a mystery. He did really well in Nation Wars recently. He's been cool to watch as a Terran player, but there's two kind of things about uThermal that are hard to take into consideration. One is he doesn't come out to play in every game we host, right? So we don't actually see uThermal frequently. And when we do see uThermal, he's either killing it and he looks broken as fuck. Like he's either Maru levels of Terran, or he's on the other side of it where he just can't figure out the matchup. I'm not sure where he sits with TvZ right now. If you've been paying attention to a lot of Terrans, they've been complaining about this matchup. And in fairness, Terrans have a history of complaining about matchups, so maybe that means nothing. But in fairness, I think TvZ's in a weird spot right now. But again, we'll see how this series goes. I think with confidence, this first game will give us a good idea of where these two are at for the matchup. I know that recently we actually just hosted like 3 30-plus minute games with Blai versus Vindicta the other night. And to be honest, my throat today is hoping that that's not going to be the case here. But I will still cheer for a game 5 regardless. I mean, I know the end of the day is going to bring up Mana versus Mana versus Rainer, and that matchup is going to be fun no matter what. But I'm hoping to get the most out of this one. Although I will say, you know what? I've thrice now said that this was the series I was looking for most to today. But in fairness, Showtime and Harstem was a big surprise. And I did not expect to fall in love with that PvP matchup, or PvP in general. But the way those two played, oh my god. My only regret is that I'm not better knowledge at Protoss, that I could have walked you guys through that game a little bit better. Because, like, the obvious 200 IQ moves were made by unobvious 400 IQ moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that series today was so good. Which I guess if you're just tuning in, quick note, our VODs are not subscriber locked. You can be a random pleb, and I would absolutely recommend checking that series out if you missed it, because, oh, Harstem and Showtime. What a show that was. Reaper's going to hop up to the main base, immediately pounced on by Lings, but rather than wait around and die, he pulls back with Reaper. So Reaper's going to live for a little bit longer. Also, just real quick, guys, I don't know if we have any coupon codes left, but if we do, !Matcherino in the chat. If you want to be part of the tournament, you want to say, like, hey, I put $5 toward this tournament, great, awesome. Please consider doing so. But more important than that, there's a free way to contribute. There's a free way to get involved. You can either use the coupon code DFY Star League, and it'll add $1 to the prize pool. And this is a real dollar, not some sort of phony baloney like Matcherino dollar. This is $1 US that gets added to the prize pool. On top of that, there are sponsor links on the side you can click on that will add more money to the prize pool as well. If you feel like, you know, clicking a link is worth 50 cents to the prize pool, 20 cents to the prize pool, whatever the value of it is, I hope you consider clicking those, honestly. It just helps build up for more and more stuff. But, oh, again, we already passed our goal of $2,000. Anything at this point is icing on the cake. Thank you, everybody who's contributed so far. Actually, I have a small question on that note. I'm not sure if Mike Zeckham or Terminator or any of the regulars out there, Alaska Winter, what have you, are tuning in right now. But for those who do actually add their own money to the prize pools like this, you know, you got Matcherino going and all that. Is there, like, do you have that sense of, like, oh, I was part of this? Do you just do it because, you know, you got some cash lying around, you couldn't care less? I'm curious. What's the motivation? You just want to help out? I mean, these are all good reasons. I'm actually just curious what your guys' thoughts are. But we do have a Nidus Worm Commando Blai. Not so unexpected. It is Blai. I mean, him and Nidus Worms are synonymous at this point. Okay, I'm at this point where I'm pretty positive we just have a bunch of people coming in from like a shitty betting website. And that's why everyone keeps asking about this. And it's driving me bonkers. So, I'm going to put the stream in followers only mode for the rest of this cast. Because if they're going to come here and be annoying about their attempts to make money off of other players, at least they're going to follow me for it. Okay, followers only mode enabled. Sorry, fam. Now, Nidus Swarm does unload in the main base. Big unload here with 5 queens coming out. They can take some shots. They got some transfuses ready and available. Bly not using it so far. Maybe not feeling like he needs to. If he kills that tech lab, if he denies stim, that'd be a great pick off here. But at the same time, he doesn't want to overcommit and fall into the siege tank fire line too much. As you see a lot of Zerglings here getting one shot by the siege tanks. 40 damage against Lings, 35 health. They don't stand a chance. But no option, no opportunity here. Not picking off the stim pack. Did force a lift off of the main base. Nidus Swarm in the natural, though, floods in. Siege tanks are in a good position to snipe off the legs, but surrounding the Marines like this and killing the SCVs, this is a tough hold for uThermal. The Queens still haven't been dealt with either, by the way. That's going to be really annoying. As more Lings flood out. The Siege Tank's almost been opened up here. Last couple of Marines, though, keeping the Lings off the Siege Tanks so that the Siege Tanks continue to push off the Queens and deny future Nidus Worms. While this goes on, though, 21 SCVs is rough. No, granted, look, there are 3 CCs on the map right now. Recovery is an option with mules because Bly did have to go pretty dedicated to make this happen. So uThermal knows there's not like a 3-base saturated situation on the other side of the field. But at the same time, he might just be too far behind. Seriously, he's working off of 14 SCVs right now. And this command center might even go down soon. Oh, that tank barely holds on, though. 20 health. Surviving a little bit longer. Stim's done too, so the Marines are fighting better and harder than before. The siege tank almost certainly going to go down. Does go down. Trying so hard to get over to the Nidus Worm. Hellion on the low ground helping a bit too. New Nidus Worm for an evacuation perhaps. Queen's going to take a fight, but they are going to get picked off. Finally, a fight goes start going well for uThermal. Oh, well, they just plop out over the natural base. Oh, the Nidus Worm going to body block in the SCVs perhaps? I'm not sure why it's not going off. All right, starts building in a new one. Down to 4 workers. I'm sorry. As cool as mules are, the freshly landed mules are being attacked now by the Lings. He pulls them back for a second. Keeps 3 of them alive. Excuse me, 2 of them alive. Bly trying so hard to finish this game. He knows uThermal's economy is in shambles. uThermal's about to lose his starport, by the way. It's burning down second by second. Creep spread all over the natural, so he can't lift this up. Guys, I think Bly's tenacity is really shining through on this one. The Lings are not proven to be that effective. In fact, the Queens are pretty useless too, but what they did in the main was distract from the natural. This was gutted raw. uThermal's on literally 2 SCVs and a mule for economy, and that is not even close to bringing him close to Bly. Look, and this is an if uThermal brings us back, no. I was going to say that this is the greatest game of all time, but nope. Bly will take game number 1 with a very all-in style. Nidus Worms, okay. I do believe that one of the biggest changes that I'm looking forward to most in their proposed balance changes is the slight cooldown on Nidus Worm. Now, look, I'm not taking anything away from Bly. I'm not going to say, like, he couldn't win without this. Bly was winning games before the Nidus Worm change happened, but god damn if Nidus Worms aren't fucking stupid. Just like instantly new way to teleport your entire army around the map. At least Protoss with recall has like an energy base and a time based cooldown. Terran with medevacs, you risk something with that. With Nidus Worms, I just sit here in awe. Like, I love and respect good Zerg players, and Bly is one, but fuck you Nidus Worms and whoever decided to put them in with like no cooldown as such. What's the big change to them? Okay, so again, I know a lot of people have made these like patch change videos. I haven't, because a lot of this stuff will probably get changed before it goes live. But at present, at the time of me speaking, they're going to put an innate cooldown on the Nidus Worm. I think it's like between 5 and 9 seconds or something. So you can't just do like Nidus Worm, Nidus Worm, Nidus Worm, Nidus Worm, Nidus Worm. There will be a cooldown before you can place down the next one. So it won't be just non-stop relentless BS. But, again, that's not guaranteed to go live. That's why I have not been talking about it too much. But okay, we are getting into game number 2. uThermal and Bly. Loading in on Disco Bloodbath. Thank you for the follows, guys. Sorry for the follower-only mode. I was getting really annoyed with those people. But let's hop into it. Okay, that being said, it is game number 2. Spawning here in the bottom right, 1 point on the board, playing from Ukraine. We do have the red Zerg, Bly. To the top left, we have the blue Terran. It is uThermal. Now, look, uThermal lost that game, but that was a hell of a defense nonetheless. Those siege tanks lasted so long. I couldn't believe he finished Stim. 3 CCs when he was at the 14 SCV point definitely seemed redeemable, but as I mentioned before, the tenacity of Bly is sometimes very difficult to overcome. He's a guy who can hit you with an all-in, but he's also a guy who can hit you with like a 30-minute macro game. He's a really like all over the place player, and that's what makes him so difficult to fight against. But here for game 2, he just decides to take a hatchery first, and it's that old Artosis saying, right? The cheesiest thing a cheeser can do is just play normal. Yeah, 47S brings up a great point. Bly was one of those Zergs who would spam Nidus Worms even they were 100 minerals and gas. Absolutely he would. And Bly's also one of those Zergs who will stay in a game 20 minutes past the point where he should have left and lost and still somehow pull out a victory. No one can ever explain it, but sometimes it just happens and it's dumb. But then a majority of the time you see these games where Bly just looks like he's got fantasy GG timing and you're like, come on, man. This is over. Cut your losses. Derpuko says, do you need to have vision of the place where you want to queue up your Nidus Worm? Yes. You cannot place it into the fog of war. That's why you see overlords usually hanging out over the cliffs, because they'll give the vision necessary. So you can queue them up. I see what you're saying. You can queue up like 7 Nidus Worms here while you have vision, but if you lose vision, they will not build. You must be able to see the area for the Nidus Worm to actually build. I'm trying to think if there's any other building in the game that interacts like that, but every other building you have vision when you're building because the worker has to be right there. So I think Zerg is really the one where that comes into effect. Oh, wow. Got a tip coming in. No sound alerts. I don't know why, but Burnhead, thank you kindly for the $10, dude. No message to go with it, but I still appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much. It says he's on patrol, but I think this is just for scouting. I really don't think this is for anything cheeky. Although, as cool as it would be to see a proxy starport, the starport has been built at home. Well, uThermal's likely to just put out some Hellions, do some pressure with that, maybe follow up with a Marine medevac drop. I really don't think his plan is going to deviate too much. I mean, he does have a couple of mech builds in his pocket, but I think Bly is one of the last players you want to play mech against. That style just doesn't really punish him the same way it does other players. The Cyclones and what have you. Okay. SCV. Good scout. Sees the natural, sees the third. I mean, he didn't get to the main, but it's also worth noting that there's no Reaper made this game. It just went straight to Marines ASAP, so there wasn't really going to be scouting the way there normally was. So the SCV seeing 2 bases, well, confirming 3 more importantly, was a really nice scout. Also, Bardino! I miss you so much, dude. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you in chat this morning. Sorry to call you out. I just miss you, my dude. I hope streaming's been treating you well. You know, I still have bloody freaking VR chat on my computer. We still haven't had a chance to play that yet. I mean, we did briefly for like 10 seconds that one time. That's about it. I gotta get on that. This apartment's too small to set up my VR gear, though. That's actually a bit of a bummer. All right, medevacs boosting down the middle of the map. 2 full medevacs. This is a real big threat to Bly. And Bly's just sent all of his Zerglings around the other side of the map. Now look, maybe a big Banling bus comes through the front. I don't know. But if it does, then it means he's got nothing to defend at home. And uThermal, I don't know if that's going to clue in or not. To see nothing respond to 2 drops like this is kind of a big, like, red flag. Lings are trying so hard to drag and drop that Widowmine shot on top of the Marines, but he does unburn the Widowmine to prevent that from happening. Big lob over top of the Lings. That picks off the majority of them. These Marines focusing down the Queens. As long as that medevac survives, these Marines are king. But meanwhile, there was that Baneling bust on the other side of the field. Hellions are out. Oh, they're going to eat the hill. They're going to eat the Banelings in the face if they're not careful. But looks like uThermal's going to hold this, and he does it really well. Both players taking some nasty and gnarly losses there. 5 drones, 7 SCVs, but the Queens and the Lings was a little bit worse because it was a lot more dangerous for Bly. But both players hold on. The depots going down are actually kind of suck. That's a supply block for uThermal right now, which feels a bit bad. But this command center will be done soon. The depots are getting remade. That supply block will not last forever. 2 Liberators setting around the map too. Going to do some big mineral denying while this goes on. And Bardino, hey, thank you for the resub, dude. Bing, bing, yahoo! It's me, baby! I guess the casino must be paying out well, dude. Thank you. All right, Liberator the main. Spore Crawler going to dance around this a little bit. Over here on the left side, that Liberator is going to have to be pushed off by the Queen. Actually, oh, he's going to take the fight against the Queen. A little bit tough to do because it takes so long to load and unload the Liberator. Meanwhile, these are not more Marines, nor are they Widow Mines, nor is this going to be a bio game. It's mech behind it. Oh my god. Look, I said not to go mech, and then it goes mech. God damn it, uThermal. Let's talk about this a bit. We've seen TvZ a million times with the Marines. I don't think you guys need me to walk you through it, but here's why mech is in a weird spot, right? When you go mech, nowadays, you're not doing like Thors and siege tanks. You're doing Hellions and Cyclones. You're getting Mag-filled Accelerator and Blue Flame. And you're dealing a lot of damage with units that are pretty mobile, but also pretty fragile. And against most players, it's a style that works out pretty well. Especially if this was uThermal versus them in particular. The reason I don't like this for Bly is Bly, for whatever reason, seems pretty good at handling this. Now look, if this is the game where I'm wrong about it, so be it. But for the majority of the times I've seen players try and play mech against Bly, he's had it figured out. He gets fungal growths, he gets the right units out, he doesn't take fights that he shouldn't and bleed out to the Cyclone lock-ons needlessly. He knows how to play against this style, he just needs to know that he's playing against this style. And right now, between the double medevac drops and everything he's seen up to this point, maybe the armory being built on the wall is his first clue, but he has no confirmed information right now that this is going to be a mech style of play. So, still making Banelings makes sense. Investing in Baneling speed makes sense. But Banelings are not going to be very effective going forward, and in fact, are kind of going to be bad. Taking out the Banelings, he's satisfied to run the Hellions through to possibly try and sacrifice for the drones, but more Banelings are coming in. Oh, this is a weird spot to be in. Takes the hits. Barely survives with the Hellions now running through to the natural, but Roaches are here to defend, so these will not fry up 40 drones like uThermal was hoping. Meanwhile, there's quite a few Hellions. I'm not sure if that's a giveaway or not. I really don't know if Bly knows what he's fighting against or not. But it is a lot of Hellions. It is a lot of Cyclones. I think Blue Flame's done. Mag-filled Accelerator coming out shortly. For those who don't know what these upgrades do, Blue Flame just gives bonus damage versus light units for the Hellion. 19 versus light now. And Mag-filled Accelerator doubles the damage of the Cyclone lock-on against armored units only. So you get bonus damage versus light from the Hellions. You get bonus damage versus armored from the Cyclones. You kind of just deal damage to everything. It is a super volatile style of play. Oh, he splits the Hellbats there. Actually, that's really nice. 2 Blue Flame Hellbats in the mineral line. You can't ignore that. This is such a big deal. Oh, the drones restack. If he's paying a little bit of attention, he could have just picked off so many of them. But the medevac gets targeted down. This has done a really good job denying mining in the main base, really upsetting the economy. And uThermal, I mean, through 3 bases, through soon to be 4, he's killing it on income compared to Bly. But Bly's on 71 drones. I don't think he's sweating it. This is not like he's doing poorly and uThermal's doing well. They're both doing good. uThermal's just doing a bit better. There's a really nice barbecue shot lined up there. I believe Cyclones have picked up both Overlords on his side of the field, so Bly actually has no vision anymore of what's going on outside of where his creep is. And that's a good thing he spread a bunch of creep, because those are the biggest eyes he has on the field right now, to know where uThermal's coming from, and more importantly, what uThermal's coming with. 4 Hellions running by, for example, are a much bigger deal than 4 Cyclones, but neither matter as much if you're focused on top of the Liberator. That Liberator didn't kill a lot of drones, but those Hellions certainly freaking did. Bly was on 70-something drones before, now knocked down to 54. Total workers lost up to 44. Ay, ay, ay. I think Aspire's a good call. Air units are going to be critical going forward, whether it's Brood Lords or Mutalisks. Just having access to the sky is going to be huge. Especially because, if nothing else, it's going to help deal with these Liberators a lot better. Dread Dormammu asks, are replay packs available for this tournament? Yes, every single replay pack that I am able to share with you from every tournament we do is available to our subscribers and Patreons exclusively through Discord. You will also, by the way, get access to every replay we've ever posted. So, yay! This army, though, this numbers game, it's up twice the supply. I don't know that Bly can win this fight, even with a fungal growth. And the reason fungal works is it steals away the mobility from these units, right? And that's the biggest thing he has going for him. They do crazy bonus damage, but they're crazy mobile. But Infestors aren't going to work in this situation like normal because uThermal's done something really unconventional. And he's added 3 siege tanks to this push. 3 siege tanks might not seem like a lot, but to explain, those 3 siege tanks are going to zone out the Infestors every single time. So if they want to dive in and fungal growth this army and punish it, he's probably going to lose them for it. Meanwhile, on the other side, we got another just like Mad Max Fury Road amount of vehicles coming down that side of the map. Siege tanks are not positioned for this fight, but it's fine. The Cyclones just keep locking onto roaches, and every time they lock onto a roach, that is pretty much guaranteed to be a dead roach. Oh my god, the blue flame is so good. uThermal's really making this work. I don't know if I cast or curse Bly or what, but this game has certainly gone in uThermal's favor in every way imaginable. Now, he's gone for massive amounts of Ravagers. This is not a bad move. Ravagers are not considered armored, nor are they considered light. They are just biological, so they don't take bonus damage from anything. But as you can see here, uThermal's units can still tear them up. And he can't lock into siege tanks. They're still going to blow them away. 40 damage a shot. GG's get called, and uThermal ties up the series 1-1. Welcome back, everybody. Game number 3. I'll talk and address a little bit more about these replays you guys were... Whoops, look at that screen. You guys were asking about here in a second. Let me just get this sorted. All right, before we do the intros, if you are a subscriber and you're not already on our Discord, when you go to your Discord, in your little settings option, you can sync your Discord account to your Twitch account. Upon doing so, it will take a little bit of time for Discord to recognize you as a subscriber. But once it does, you'll be able to see several channels that you weren't previously able to see on the Base Trade TV Discord. And on that note, all of our subscribers got a really, really early access sneak peek to the Factory Chan cosplay that was put on by our good friend Kara Corvus. I think sometime next week I'll probably make those pictures public, but if you guys want a quick peek at the ones we have in Discord, they are on our sub-only channel, which is a separate channel to our Discord subscriber replay packs channel. So hopefully that's everybody caught up. Let's continue on. Hopping into game number 3, to the bottom right, we do have the Red Zerg, Bly. And despite the outcome of that last game, he's still just going hatchery quickly here in game number 3. To the top left, we have the Blue Terran. It is uThermal. uThermal on Team Liquid, but I'm a little sad because while I'm currently casting the tournament, I can't watch the video made. I've just learned, if you guys remember our good friend Sho from once upon a time ago, Sho has recently parted ways with Team Liquid. Now granted, Sho does Hearthstone and not Starcraft, so I don't expect you guys to follow him, but Sho was one of my favorite Terran players from back in the day, and I super duper loved that he was on Team Liquid. So a little bit of a bummer. Hopefully it's for good and better things though. Also, I was not initially planning on going to BlizzCon this year. I have done 0 events this year, which is a little frustrating. I have actually not left my house all year, basically. I'm thinking about just sucking it up and paying stupid money to go for BlizzCon last minute. Because I realized there's nothing else this year I'm going to be going to. I'm like having one of those impulse days, you know? I don't know if I'm going to do it. What do you think, chat? Do I just be foolish? Gallivant off to LA for like 3 days? For stupid amounts of money? Surely? How much is a ticket? I'm not worried about the ticket part of it. I'm just like, want to go. As long as you're on for raid. Oh yeah, does that fall on a Saturday? Was it that's the first and the second? I would literally not be able to do raid. Feels bad. I could bring my laptop with me and do raid. Please go on live stream. Oh, that'd be cool. I might actually be able to talk to Blizzard about maybe trying to get a streaming booth. They've done that in previous years. And what was really nice was that was, you guys remember, I think it was 2 years ago, I got to debut the co-op commanders for Han and Horner live at BlizzCon. That was really fun. I like that a lot. I think I'm gonna be honest. I watched everyone else's stream for that after I got home, like Livy B, Winter, everybody, and like, yo, y'all really underreacted to seeing how cool the new co-op units were. I'm just saying. I saw that battle cruiser and I like screamed. Plus, guys, if I go to BlizzCon, I might be able to get my hands on the first copy of Diablo Immortal. I have a phone after all. I have two. Ralph wants to know if there's any schedule coming up for the near future. Not right now. We were really focused on getting DFY season, the DFY Star League Season 1 completed, but this was really delayed. And what I'd like to do is plan out what they plan to do with Season 2, but presently we don't know if that's happening or not. So it's kind of up in the air. My plan, though, is if DFY Season 2 doesn't start up and isn't like really quick, then I'll probably put up something here like big on Base Rate TV, but I have nothing to announce right now. Until then, just show matches and random streams here and there where we can make them happen. Oh, this was a nice line. That's a good lineup shot there for those aliens. But it's a Nidus Swarm coming out of Bly, so you know what? If it worked in the first game, surely it must work in another. I don't know if it'll work as well, but this time it is going to be hitting a little bit harder with roaches and not just lings and queens. It's super awkward. That Nidus Swarm in that first game, I really feel like, well, it did work. It wasn't like a smooth win for Bly. That was really clunky. I think with roaches, you can kind of secure your victory a bit better if you can take care of it properly. Oh, no. This is a problem. All the lings are on the other side of the map, so the roaches do spawn. They'll clean up these Hellions, but not before they claim the lives of like 10-something drones. Nidus straight in the natural base, though. Lings attacking the command center. SCV's forced to pull into this, but Nidus Swarms have like 3 or 4 armor while I'm burrowing, so that it's going to take something like tanks and marauders to deal with this. Tanks and marauders do spawn. Roaches have no chance to fight this if those tanks and marauders are positioned properly. In fact, that Nidus Worm has very little of a chance to spawn, period. Tank in the natural base will secure Nidus Worm outside of its dead zone. Marauders will take care of it spawning anywhere else. And while the tank is in a bit of an awkward spot right now, SCVs will have to be pulled. He should be able to stop this from finishing up. The Marauder and tank damage is just a bit too much. So, gonna go for it in the outlier front lines. For Bly, I mean, this is all in. Especially forced to do so because of those drone losses from the Hellions. They just did way too much damage. Oh yeah, stim on the Marauders too. No problem. But the Nidus Worms are the main at this point. I kind of feel like our distraction. One of those ones where like if they go off, Bly will utilize it, but he's not banking on it. He's banking on the front line breaking through. Oh, the command center needs to be lifted. The command center needs to be lifted. uThermal cannot afford to lose his third CC like this. SCV's now pulled to the front line. SCV's not quite gonna do it. That one tank's doing a lot of damage for a certain second tank now on the ramp. Third tank at the top of the ramp. Looks like he's gonna hold. And with these Nidus Worms in the main constantly being denied, Bly's kind of out of luck now as the the Vikings pushed off the Overlords. Command center still in danger as it is burning. Oh, I don't know, guys. I really don't know if Bly can make this work. I don't think Bly can make this work. There's a lot of freedom now for uThermal with him not having to worry about the main base, so he can just focus purely on the natural. And uThermal's going to be able to dance around. Like, okay, he's missing one of the siege tanks, but he's got Marauders, he's got Marines, he's got Stim Pack. I feel like if he wants to commit to a fight, he totally can, but of course he's overstimmed because there's only a couple medevacs healing, so much less went to the Viking to push off the Overlords. Goes in to break the Ravagers, now it's just Queens with energy, and he pushes this off, losing 18 SCVs in the process, but the tank still stands. Tank on the high ground as well, firing from the top. But it's not going to be enough here as the Lingzy on top of the second one. That's going to be some friendly fire. Dead tank goes down. One tank remains. Marines push this back, and that Nidus Swarm, well, there's nothing inside of it. Bly's actually got 26 Lings desperately coming out. I guess that's going to flood in and hope to overwhelm. But I feel like the amount of Marines and just even 1 or 2 siege tank shots should be plenty to stop these Lings from doing too much. How many Nidus Rooms? 7 Nidus Rooms up to this point. This is the 8th one here right now. I gotta slow down. I got way too excited. I think I just went Auctioneer in that last fight, and I'd like to apologize to you guys because it just becomes unintelligible. But the tank fire is going to hold this front line. The Lings are shaved off as expected. Kills the Nidus Worm. No retreat for the Queens. This is huge. This means there's nothing to go into that second Nidus Worm. Even though it's one of the main spawns, it's literally one roach that comes out. GG! uThermal holds! And he takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Now, of course, my hair keeps escaping from under my headset, but that's not done yet. It is game number 4 on the way. This is Bly's last chance to survive, but he's still fighting. He's still in this. Let me pull up the map order. Where are we going to? We're going to Triton next. Bly needs the Nidus Worm to win? I don't know that I would say needs the Nidus Worm to win, but Bly can win with the Nidus Worm. Okay, so again, next up after this is Raynor versus Mana, but I talked about this earlier. I'll address it again. Raynor has gone to Korea because they're hosting opening week of BlizzCon in Korea. So while Raynor will be here live tomorrow if he wins... Again, I don't know who wins. I was given a set of replays. So we sorted all of this out ahead of time. We sorted this out like a week ago. And if Mana wins, then it's no problem. He just shows up. No problem. If Raynor wins, he will be playing from Korea and we'll have to accommodate accordingly. But again, I've been given a set of 5 replays. I don't know the score. I don't know any information other than the fact that the games were played ahead of time. And that will be what the last series of today will be cast from. But we're not there yet. I'm just setting up the lobby now. Bly versus uThermal. Starting to make Bly Primal. Okay. In the meantime, thank you for some subs, some resubs. Here's a quick look at the prize pool screen, reiterating where we're at. Sir Duke Nukem, thank you for the 44 months. Turtle Punch, thank you for the 39. Just man bun up there. I hate man buns. My hair is what it is, just because I'm like, I don't want to go to a haircut place. I just want to stay at home all day. And thank you for the message, Duke. I do appreciate that. But anyways, it's Triton. As said many times, it's game 4. Let's hop into it. He is on his last life. If you're just tuning in, maybe knocked out of the tournament here. With 1 point on the board, he has to win this game to come back. It's Bly. So the top left, his opponent leading 2-1, playing for Mexico, it's uThermal. So again, uThermal kind of this North American enigma in the machine. If uThermal wins this, he will play the winner of Raynor Mana tomorrow, and we'll probably have to continue doing this like mixed server situation. Double so if Raynor wins, but again, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't want to know what's going on for that yet. But if Bly wins, of course, then it stays in the family. Europe, Team Europe, woo! I know that Bly was a little disgruntled knowing that we'd be playing not on the European server. I guess to be clear, and this is where it does fall under some miscommunication. I probably could have communicated this a bit better. We did make all the games for the round of 16 play on Europe. So even players like Cham and uThermal had to play from North America to Europe to get to this point. But that's also because you're juggling 4 people, and trying to do very specific server swaps for 4 different people is just not worth the trouble. So we say all in. The reason it's a little bit more accommodating here in the round of 8 is because it is like very specifically one matchup that you have to worry about this for. So for tomorrow, it will be the same deal. If any of the players who are playing tomorrow are listening that have to worry about playing cross-server, again, we don't know Rainer and Mana's situation yet, but when we get there, we will. If there's more cross-server play, we'll figure it out. Is uThermal in NA? Yes, uThermal's currently in NA. He'll be here for the foreseeable future, from what I understand. I don't think he's like full-time moved over, but I believe staying with a friend. But he will be going to, I think if he's playing a Home Story Cup, he's going back, but only for like Home Story Cup. Because I know I've been trying. So as many of you guys know, we had a really successful Alpha Star series on YouTube. And uThermal has a replay at home, like in Europe, of him playing versus Alpha Star. But try as I might, I can't get him to go home and give it to me. And he's like, maybe if I go home during Home Story Cup, but even then, he's like not guaranteed, so I don't know. Ah! I want that replay so badly. I don't know if they just stopped doing Alpha Star or what, but I haven't seen or heard any reports of Alpha Star activity in the last month or so. Maybe they stopped it leading up to BlizzCon and they'll announce something cool or not. I don't know. But I know that for whatever reason, those Alpha Star videos gave us the most YouTube traffic I've seen in like 7 years. Like that Serral series has like over 110,000 something views on it. It's nuts. Plus, it's just fun watching Man vs. Machine, I guess. The AI, like the default AI Blizzard has, is pretty lackluster. That'd be fun if this is a surprise show match at BlizzCon. Oh my god, that would be so dope. Like an exhibition Serral versus Alpha Star or something would be so cool. By the way, that Serral video on YouTube finally gave me an idea of like what YouTubers make. So if you guys want a little behind the scenes thing here, because I know some people love this shit. That Alpha Star video with Serral got over 100,000 views. And it earned a little over $1,000. That is fucking insane to me. Because I've always had to guess at what big YouTubers make. I've always had to guess how much money people with crazy views get. Now I have some like definitive proof to say, wow, YouTubers make a lot of fucking money on the proper videos. See, I've heard that too, Vodka 7up, that lots of views doesn't necessarily mean lots of money. And I think that's probably true because it really depends on where the views come from, right? For example, ads served to like Ukraine are probably going to generate far less revenue than ads served to California in the United States. So it's not like 100,000 views equals $1,000. It means it can equal $1,000 is how I look at it. And it's like, whoa, hold the fuck on. This double drop, by the way, unloading very nicely. The Widowmine not getting to burrow till way too late, but it's going to kill all the rest of the Lings. There was some weird swapping target fire. I guess he was distracted on the other side of the map. This Ling attack that won't break that wall anytime soon. And while he did lose the Widowmine, he did get pretty much everything else out alive. Well, from one of the drops at least. Medevac's still pretty low. If he goes back in, that's like some crazy pants balls. I don't think it's worth it, though. Viewers are high value, what you're saying. Well, here's the thing, right? As cool as it was, right, to get that much money made on a single video from YouTube, that is also literally 100% of the money we've made on YouTube in 7 years. So, like the average video we have on YouTube right now makes like $2 if I'm lucky. It's all about Twitch for me. I'm super all in with Twitch. I wish our YouTube was more successful. I really do, but I'm all about Twitch. And I know that the YouTube audience actually really hates, and I'm sorry when you guys watch this later on YouTube, I know that they hate my Twitch casting because I cater to you guys. I like to have fun. I'm here to hang out with a live audience. I'm not here to make like a professional StarCraft 2 video, right? So some people come for one thing, get another, and they're left unhappy and unsatisfied, and I understand it. Anyways, enough about that. We got another big attack. These roaches, or not roaches, excuse me, these Hellions are roasting up the Lings, but it also was a big distraction for 2 Liberators to get in. Now, the reason 2 Liberators are very important for this is you can see here that first off, it destroys eggs, but it'll give them more ability to deal with the queens. 1 Liberator just gets outranged by the queen, no problem. Although, as I say this, 7 queens, 5, whatever, 6 queens come in, and it's no problem to deal with this. So, you know what? Never mind. Ultimately, though, this did push off some and deny some production there through the eggs. So, not totally worthless, but these Liberators did not get big damage. Not at all. Base rate TV, I think that the average StarCraft 2 audience is older. Yeah, no, that's true. I've looked at our demographics. Our average audience is like largely between like 24 and 30. In fact, I would imagine most of you tuning in right now are between 24 and 30. A safe bet there. But the funny thing that I think is so weird is like, I also know that the older a person is, the less likely they are to be involved with chat. Like on Twitch, for example. So it feels like there's less people than there really are a lot of the time. And a lot of the people I've met at events are in that category. I've told this story many times on stream, but like I've met hundreds of people through whether it's DreamHack or BlizzCon, and they're like, Rifkin, I love your stream, I watch all the time. And I'm like, oh, sweet, what's your name on Twitch? I'll shout you out in the next stream. And they're like, oh, I don't have an account. I just watch full screen on my TV or something. And for you who are watching that are in that category, you one of the real ones. Thank you for watching my stream. I just wish you were part of the channel. 38, get off my lawn! Oh, are we putting our ages in the chat now? I'm 31 too, so shout out to the other 31s out there. Years of the Dragon, high five! I'm not one of the real ones. No, you're one of the people who chat? What a loser. Imagine participating in a Twitch stream. What's next? You gonna subscribe and use emoticons? Loser. Good defense, by the way. Very good defense. Roaches push us off. The blue flame is so much more dangerous than regular Hellions, as it will take far less shots to kill a lot more drones. Did you just high five yourself? Lame. I actually slapped my cheek to emulate a high five, so way to get duped, idiot. Again, loser! Now, there's a lot of Hellions, actually. 17 roaming around the map. There's a big squad looking to hit down the middle, but as you can see, he's also segmented a lot off the side here to hopefully catch this base off guard. Either those Hellions that run by serve as a good distraction, opening the front gates for uThermal to walk down the middle, or he just gets a lot of damage done. There's a lot of potential in uThermal's army right now, and play mech again versus Bly did work the first time, but this time around the priorities were shifted. So instead of Bly getting Baneling speed first and Ravagers later, he did eventually get Banelings and Baneling speed, but at a much better priority that works against mech like this. Not to mention Infestors, Hive. Bly is just in a way better position this time around, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that he knew it was mech instead of thinking it was bio. So uThermal's tricks won't work out so well the second time. Oh, wow. This lane run by does work out a lot better than expected, though. I think he just killed like 4 siege tanks, but that being said, he still has to defend on the other side of the field. Infested Terrans coming down as the anti-air, but Corrosive Bile works too. Liberator taken out of the fight. Oh, no, but those Hellions from earlier, they did slip through, and while it's some stutter step micro, he does get on top of the drone lines. Greater Spire starting up at the main base immediately. Hellbat's pushing off this 4th. Bly may have taken an initially good fight, but lost 33 drones ultimately. uThermal blitzed them as hard as he could to that back line, and that's going to hurt the economy quite a bit. Bly would much prefer to be on like 70-something drones right now, rather than barely 50. And of course, at this point too, he can't really afford to spend larva on making more drones. You know, he's got to get the scrubbers out, got to get more Ravagers and Roaches accordingly. These roundbys are being seen from so far away by these creep tumors. Really good done. Really well done. Really good done? Man, I'm starting to lose my ability to speak. I guess we are like almost 4 hours into the cast. These Hellions are mostly taken care of. Oh, he forgets one. That one can kill a lot of drones if left uncontested. What are you doing, Bly? Oh, he's distracted over here. That's why. Okay, that one Hellion got like 5 kills more than it should have. So kudos to uThermal. Tisk tisk to Bly. A stark finger wave. Or stern finger wave, to say the least. Bly on fire. His name, way too true for this game. You guys want to take a guess at overall worker kills before I show you? I'm gonna hit it in like 3 seconds. So if you want to be Mr. Smarty Pants and guess like, oh yeah, I called it. I'm the best. I was paying attention. I'm about to pull up the worker skill. Let's take a look how many have died total this game. 47. Not bad. A couple people very close. Therm with a 46. 47 drones have been roasted this game, though. That's tough. That's a lot of dead workers. That's a lot of money spent rebuilding them. Money that could have gone towards more Broodlords, but Broodlords on the way nonetheless. Blue Flame Hellions are so key for this, though, because any Broodlings that land on the ground, whether it's on top of the siege tanks or otherwise, Blue Flame Hellions, Blue Flame Hellbats, they are going to roast them alive, wash them off. I mean, let's be honest. Watching a Hellbat deal with Broodling, this is like watching Mario Sunshine. Straight up. Vikings being produced. You know, this is always a funny thing for me to see. I know it's important that this gets done in this order, but rather than putting a tech lab, or excuse me, a reactor on the starport, you start building more starports to build more Vikings. Granted, inefficiently, but hey, it gets the job done, I guess. Thor's also on the way. Thor's in single target mode. Outrange Broodlords technically, but as you guys may have seen through Hero Marine's video, it's not actually the case. Broodlords have 11 range but can attack from 13 range away because Blizzard designed them really well. We also have Yamato Cannon being researched. I don't know how committed Yamato Cannon's actually going to be for this game. Battlecruisers would be cool to see, but I don't know that this investment will be super worthwhile because uThermal did prioritize weapon upgrades this game instead of armor upgrades, which are now coming out, but typically you forego weapon upgrades because you're getting your damage from Blue Flame and from Magfield Accelerator. You go armor for the other. But I guess as this gets into this more sturdier late game composition, I mean, the +2 weapons on Thor's mean they can start two-shotting Mutalisks if those are in play, but I don't know if that's going to have a big dynamic effect on the Broodlords. It is going to have these Thors hit really hard, though, once they transform. But completely out of position for now, not ready to take this fight. He does decide to, rather than scramble to defend, run for a counterattack and hope to defend with what he has left. I don't like this, though, because there are no Hellions with this army. Siege tanks are not only going to friendly fire the fuck out of his own army, if that's even a thing, he just doesn't have anything to wash off the Broodlings. Thors are not reliable sources to deal with Broodlings, but the Blitz move on the other side of the field will punish Bly because his army is slow. It is powerful, but slow, and has very little chance to respond to anything in time. So a quick hit and run of the hatchery splits off these units, saves the majority of them, but it still sends in 3 to 4 Hellions, and these will kill a lot of the drones. That's pretty nice. Bly's still on 71 workers, though, and this base is saturated up. So it's not that devastating, but it is worth noting that uThermal actually has more bases, which is really weird to consider, because that's not how this tends to go for this match. Also, those starports from earlier have been turned into all tech labs, and now we got battle cruisers coming out. Now, the reason I think this will work out really well initially is because all of the investment for Corruptors became Broodlords. Things like corrosive biles, neural parasites, these are things that can help deal with the battle cruisers, but they won't kill the battle cruisers. Is that the new battle cruisers? This is from the War Chest skin, and they look cool. They kind of stick instead of thick, but they look really nice, and I like it. Nice dodge on the fungal there. Any kind of lock-ons are going to tear these things apart. It's like 800 damage. Yeah, 800 damage over 14 seconds. That's nuts. Broodlords starting to siege up. Planetary Fortress should hold this pretty well. Honestly, the siege tanks are probably hurting more than helping, but the reason he's got those tanks set up in siege mode is specifically to make sure infestors don't come forward. The risk of friendly fire versus denying infestors is an acceptable risk, I think. The Brood War skin's coming from BlizzCon. Oh yeah, I think that's the digital ticket, right? The classic battlecruiser skin. Oh god, these just melt roaches. Oh my god, it's like butter. bad trade though for Bly. Of course, Bly's got a pretty good bank going, and it's not this first army that matters. It's the follow-up army. The idea is that Bly is probably going to lose a lot, but he'll have an instant remax, whereas uThermal will take a long time to rebuild his. And things like Cyclones, as powerful as they are also very expensive and slow to remake. Battlecruiser count is getting big. Remember, each of these is going to have a Yamato cannon. Not going to one-shot a Broodlord, but very close to it. It's actually kind of frustrating. Oh, wait, it does one-shot a Broodlord. I'm dumb. Why did I think it didn't? Look, either way, it's not about the Yamato cannon. It's going to be about their durability. The Yamato cannon is going to do a ton of damage for sure. No question about it. It's going to blitz out 7 units from existence. But it's that teleport ability that makes him so powerful. And that's where the Infestors for Bly are going to be really important going forward. Neural Parasite to burn the teleport, or more importantly, Fungal Growth to gum up the works, because a lesser known fact to many is that if a battlecruiser has Fungal Growth on it, it cannot use its teleport ability while all gummed up. But let's start the barrage. A hit and run over these spine crawlers. There's some quick deaths as he makes his way to the hatchery. This attack on the left side kills a base as well. I'm sure it's going to cost him a couple of siege tanks, but at this point, uThermal's kind of clearing up some supply. And that teleport looked really jumpy. Well, well punned. But to be clear, if a Fungal Growth landed there, he would have lost thousands of minerals and gas in investment. So getting out of there was the utmost priority, not dealing damage. But cleaning up some of the supply here has allowed him to start building things like ghosts, get nukes, and more importantly, enhanced shockwaves, which is just completed, which increases the range of EMP by a smidge, but that's all you really need when sometimes it comes to reaching the Infestors. Those Infestors are, without question, the biggest threat to his army at present. That being said, what? Bly's army looks so small. Am I crazy? Bly's army looks so shrimpy compared to the actual army value that he has in play. But I guess a lot of that's in these like Corruptors and the Broodlords. So it makes sense that there's less units, but it just looks like it doesn't look like a 123 supply army, if that makes sense. Foreign Infestors doesn't seem like that much. It's not. Objectively, Foreign Infestors are not that much, but it's the fungal growth that really is. Because right now, Bly's not thinking about siege tanks and Thors and ghosts. He's focused probably very heavily on the battlecruisers and solving this solution. He's got the Corruptors to deal the damage. Corruptors are built to be anti-massive air units, right? That's why they have 22 damage, not versus armored, but versus massive. So they're here to deal with the battlecruisers, but they can't if they can't catch them. And that's where the Infestors are really powerful. 1, 4, 17. Just takes that right fungal growth. And nukes are cooking, as some of you have been excited to see. This one launches out of the silo and is going to land over here if it gets a chance to land, which, by the way, right now Bly doesn't have vision of. Oh, no. Attack. Oh, no! Oh, my God, what a nuke! That hit a bunch of the back line, took out the overseers, so there's not, I don't think there's any detection in this army anymore. He's fungling, looking for the other ghosts. Nice shots out of Bly, but bruh. Meanwhile, of course, while the nuke hit really hard, the battlecruisers are surfacing around the bottom side of the map, and they do have that teleport ability. But I feel like this moment here is not going to be teleport. I want him to teleport aggressively. I don't want him to teleport back home. Oh, he's going to teleport back home. But let's say if he draws the entire army here, teleport like even just one battlecruiser over here and the rest home. Because his army's out of position and can't stop it from killing the Greater Spire in time. Especially when you add a Yamato cannon into the mix. But, oh, that nuke was so fantastic out of uThermal. Now, granted, because I think there was two going off simultaneously, Bly didn't see it. And it's unfortunate that that was the case. And he almost lost so much more to that. If he lost those Infestors, this might have been game over territory. But uThermal going to at least feel satisfied with that nuke, knowing he got some big hits with it. The Mad Hatter King, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Double nukes going down once again. None of these are in particularly threatening points. More nukes, though. Cleaning up some of this static defense. Battlecruisers to the top side. More nukes continuing to rain. Again, he's just hitting buildings with this. Nukes are like, what, 100 minerals, something gas? It's not a great trade, but I mean, it removes the detection, so this ghost can get closer to that mineral line. Meanwhile, he is being pushed back on the left side. Those battlecruisers are not coming home to defend, but they are going across the field. Looking to hit the main base. Maybe uThermal says, look, these are acceptable losses. I'm ahead enough at this point where I can take a base down. You know, I can afford to lose this because I've got these bases over here. And in doing so, if he kills that Greater Spire, if he kills the Hive, if he gets... I mean, look at this. This is enough Yamato cannons. I'm pretty sure he could kill the Hive. Gonna just run over those drones. Meanwhile, a nuke comes to the backside, hoping to catch this army, but it will not catch that army. It will not. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh my god, uThermal's name is Mark. That works out so much better than I expected it to. But this is a point where the nukes are, and if you lose all those ghost silos, you lose all the nukes. So Axis is, he gets to the big damage of the main base. He's going to have to go home soon, lest he lose the game, because he's lost control of all of his production. He was really hoping to get some sick nukes off, but obviously that's not happening. One nuke going over here. Unit is uncloaked presently. Bly can see this. Broodlord's going to kill it. Maybe it's a base trade, but I want to be very clear. I think Bly's army is superior to that of uThermal's in every way. Not just in terms of numbers, but like the type of supply. Battlecruisers barely make it out alive, but they do make it out alive. I mean, he's got extra bases to fall back to, but it doesn't matter. uThermal can have thousands of minerals and thousands of gas, but if he doesn't have a single building to produce from, it doesn't matter. But Bly's in this weird situation where he's also running out of buildings, and that's important because when it comes to a base trade, the way you lose this game is by having no buildings in play. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know if we're in that territory just yet. He is sniping off the Corruptors, one for Yamato. These drones are going to be annoying because they're going to run around the map and build like 7 hatcheries, and uThermal's going to have to hunt those down, but I think he'll be able to manage. He does get some of his buildings out alive. I'm surprised he gets any of his buildings out alive, but he does get some of his buildings out alive. The fact that these are all planetary fortresses with building armor, and that's what's really important here, with building armor, means there's a lot of time to buy. It will take a long time for these Broodlords to chew through everything. Meanwhile, the Battlecruiser army continues to run everything. I think Bly realizes now uThermal's going for building kills. Oh, this is tough. He's got to kill those infestors. Yamato's coming down. Nailing him. Nail him, nail him, nail him. Okay, good, 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 good. Without those infestors, there's nothing to threaten the battlecruisers, but... Oh, this... How? Why? What? It's a pet Thor. Almost kills the infestor. Meanwhile, the battlecruiser army is teleported back home after its rampage on the other side of the field. There are some Vikings in play, but I don't know how important the Vikings really are right now. These infestors, I don't know how uThermal deals with these infestors. Bly has so many infestors. 22 infestors is so much army. This is like a gajillion infested Terrans in the right situation. Corruptor's caustic spraying down this planetary. Oh my god, I didn't even consider this. Like, it would take forever for a Broodlord to chew through that, but these Corruptors kill that no problem. uThermal now building like 100 missile turrets, or he's gonna need to. He's repairing the battlecruiser army best up that he can. If this game comes down to about cost efficiency, uThermal on paper with battlecruisers should be more cost efficient. My fear is, though, that he doesn't really have anywhere to fall back to, right? Like, if those Corruptors catch him, he's just out. But as long as he never gets caught, then that might not matter at all. Bly, on the other hand, has lost all income, all production. He's desperately building some hatcheries now just to stay alive in the game. But we are in that typical, weird, dumb late game scenario. Oh my god, no. Oh no! SCVs run! This is like a Zerg nuke! There's just so many infested Terrans you can't mine there. That is off limits now. No. You can't afford to rebuild any of these. uThermal's got a lot of SCVs, but he can't afford to lose anything at this stage of the game. I don't know who to cheer for. Bly's in the same situation. Both of them are in such a weird spot. I think it just really comes down to these free infested Terrans are going to be so hard to deal with. This is where I think Blue Flame Hellions would be really useful going forward, but instead he's investing in a lot of ghosts. And I think, and not even think, I'm positive his thoughts at this point are he needs EMPs. And trust me, folks, he needs EMPs because right now he has no way to deal with that infestor army. He could, theoretically, deal with the Broodlords and Corruptors eventually, but not with the infestors in play. That unlimited energy, that infinite army is just too much to handle. Also, uThermal doesn't know exactly where all the bases are. He knows where 2 out of the 3 at present are. Oh no, that battlecruiser. Teleport, 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 teleport. Nope. Fly's gonna burn the teleport. And he's just gonna focus it down. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Yeah, rip. This is a tough game, guys. So someone in chat says Bly should do more with his army. Here's why Bly doesn't do more with his army. It is so very slow, whether it's the Infestors or the Broodlords, you name it. So if Bly does more with his army, starts moving out around the map, he's possibly going to get caught out. Him staying at home like this isn't because Bly's being a chicken shit. It's because he's smart enough to know better. Wait, did he just deny his own fungal growth with an assimilation? Successful? Interesting. Oh, this is such a strenuous late game to be in. I do not envy either of these players. Keep in mind for Bly, I kind of forgot about the score. I just got lost in the game. This is Bly's last life in the tournament. If Bly loses this game, he's out in the round of 8. So there's so much more on the line for him in this game to play safe, to play careful, to do small pickoffs like this. Because if he gets too overzealous, too overeager, that's it. His tournament comes to an end. So here he's slowly pushing out with all this. Those ghosts really got to hit those EMPs. I knew because a big EMP if you think about it. But he's got to hit those EMPs. uThermal's got more mining, and he's going to have more money to work with than Bly will in any time in the near future. But his production is just ghosts. That's it. I don't know. I feel like the right call in this situation, and I know this sounds outlandish and stupid, I think if he just Yamato cannons down the Overseers, takes all detection off the field, then ghosts could hypothetically reign supreme through snipes and auto attack damage. But they don't have that many upgrades, so they're not hitting that hard. Bly has mostly maxed out upgrades. Regardless, the Infestors are the true problem. He needs to EMP the Infestors. Case in point, whether it has to do with killing the Overseers or not, he has to kill the Infestors or he has zero chance to win this game. Not even kill, EMP, whatever. Just make the Infestors not part of the fight. Oh my god. The subterranean assault squad. Okay, I'm just saying, Blizzard, you really shouldn't be able to throw out like 100 infested Terrans. It's just like an instant army that's maxed out upgrades. Ghosts deal bonus damage to infested Terrans because they are light, so that's kind of cool. Ghosts will help clean this up, but I mean, even that many infested Terrans to kill a single ghost is worth it for Bly. Not to mention the 8 SCVs that went down with it. Ling's kind of running around the map. We're going to start cleaning up some of what's in the main base. There's one starport producing, but these are supply depots uThermal does not want to have to rebuild. It's not that he can't afford to rebuild them. It's the time it would take that would really make this super not worthwhile. So, not to mention the starport as well. Battlecruisers here to defend. It makes sense. If this was a planetary, this wouldn't be a problem, but he can't make this a planetary. He needs the money. He needs to be mining off of this. You're still not over the ghost death sound? I don't like the female ghost death sound. I think it is way too over the top. Granted, all ghost death sound effects are super dramatic, but oh god, please! EMP! EMP! Oh, he missed his opportunity. He's trying to go for a nuke. He got greedy. That ghost was right up on top of the Infestors, and if he landed that EMP, because he has enhanced shockwaves, that would have been the entire army pretty much EMP down. Does that mean he could pounce in and attack? No, not at all. But it means that it would be Bly who would have to take his time and would not be able to fight against him for some time. Man. That Noah Parasite, for example, might not have been able to go down. There's some weird nukes right now, and I don't think Bly's getting panicked by this. Oh, he is. He's actually checking all of his bases. But lucky for him, he doesn't have that many bases to check. So this just cleans up creep. That's literally it. That is several hundred minerals and gas going towards cleaning up creep. Oh my god. No EMP. No chance for this one. That command center. Cancel it. No cancel. Things are getting sloppy for uThermal here in the late game. And it's just too dang expensive to be losing a base like that. Ghosts aren't cloaking either, so they're just dying needlessly to the infested Terrans. They could totally kill these. Walking away works too. Oh, this is frustrating to watch. To be clear, guys, at this point in the game, we're 30 minutes in. Both players are stressed beyond belief, and certainly horse blinders are on. People are going to make mistakes, but that's what's key for either player to win this game. Capitalizing on the opponent's mistake. So, however, just to be clear, uThermal is making the mistakes so far. Bly has not really done anything too poorly. I fear that, to steal a phrase from 47 is the chat, I think uThermal is tunnel visioning a little bit, and that's where I get a little worried for him in the game. Less outside the box thinking, more too much focus on landing like some sick nuke, which... oh, for a moment there. For a moment there. You know, this looks like such a silly use of Neural Parasite, but it secures the kill. And when you've got... what are we at again? Like 22 infestors? Mostly full energy because no EMPs are going off? That's what's frustrating me too. I want him to just... I feel like it's not the first nuke or the first ghost, right? You send one ghost in, it's going to die 100%. You EMP the infestors, then the second ghost isn't going to get Neural Parasited. The second ghost isn't going to get fungal growth to reveal it through stealth. You know what I mean? I'm not pro like uThermal. I'm not saying that that's the move, but I'm saying it's a potential option. And I'm honestly just a little frustrated seeing no EMPs. I don't know why he's so averse to using EMP. And I think a lot of it just has to do with the tunnel vision. It's the late game. Again, we're 33 minutes in. People are definitely focusing on the wrong parts of this game. And I don't know what the plan with the nukes are, by the way. I don't know if he's just hoping to random luck a nuke out or if he's hoping to just distract Bly. I very truly can't fathom what the plan is with it. Also, these ghosts need one medevac. Seriously, so many of them are getting lower and lower from each of these infestor hits. I guess I talked about Bly's economy being not so good, but enough time has passed that he has recovered a bit. uThermal had the money previous, but as you can see, Bly's got quite a bank going for him right now. This ghost is not in range of detection presently. This nuke will likely land on nothing. Second nuke, though, going off. Gonna kill some larva. Maybe a spire? Oh, too much health in that spire. Round 2 and another nuke. He's got one more in his pocket. 12 battlecruisers. You know what? I think battlecruisers cleaning up creep wouldn't even be that bad. Get a Raven out for detection or something. Yeah, he's got a Raven on the way now. There's so much creep on the map. So Bly, when you look at this, Bly has almost map hacks on right now. It sounds like a joke, but look at all the creep spread. This is all to his own doing, of course. He's very vigilantly spent this game, 34 minutes of it, spreading creep. And having, you know, uThermal doesn't have infested, regular Terran Marines. I was going to say infested Terrans for some reason. He doesn't have Marines, so he's not been cleaning up the creep. He doesn't have medevac drops going on. He doesn't have scans or detection because he's been spending so much just on mules. I fear that what's going to happen is uThermal's going to mine out this base and lose the game. I think that's how this is going to go down. And it's a bummer because what a hell of a game this has been so far. Sniping maybe even too. Like, that's another thing. There's been enough time not to land a nuke, but there's been plenty of time, if not to land an EMP, to land a snipe on some of these infestors. 90 health versus 170 damage. Like, I really think uThermal could have gotten some very confirmed kills this game. I really do. I think his ghost usage could be a little bit more diverse than what he's doing. In fact, not even could. It should be. Hell, look at this. Just this ghost auto-attacking is more effective than what he's been doing with some of the ghosts up to this point. Let's do another guessing game moment. You guys want to guess how many ghosts have died this game? Anyone in chat? Well, I'll give you a few seconds to place your bets, your guesses. I'm gonna say like 30. That might be a little too high. We'll see. But this ghost, yeah, it picks off like 7 drones. That is more effective than every other nuke that's been going down in the last 5 minutes. Oh my god, 22. Also, Bly's lost over 122 workers this game. We haven't visited that tab for so long. He's lost so many. Okay. Anti-armor hits, but anti-armor's going to have, like, no factor in this. I feel like anti-armor needed to be on something else. Planetary Fortress is holding, but he's also running out of money repairing this. Fungal Growth lands, and the infested Terrans are using their big guns to shoot down the battle cruisers. And when I say they're big guns, they very specifically have an anti-air gun that deals 17 damage a shot to air. Now, I think it's finally been fixed, so it's affected by armor, but here come the Corruptors, and I think this is where the game comes to a very abrupt end. A well-fought battle out of uThermal, but not good enough. Bly swarming in, 160 supply. Battlecruisers teleport, but that's it for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Bly will take us to Game 5. Every game in the round of 8 has gone to Game 5. This is like a best case scenario for the Starcraft fan, I feel. You just get as much out of these guys as you want. But it's killing my throat. So we're going to take a break. And I'm going to try and get some water. And I'll see you guys for Winter's Gate for the final map when we return. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. But with a little bit of delay, we do find ourselves finally, I keep pressing this button, in game number 5. Things have been tied up 2-2 after one hell of a very, very, very long game 4. But to the top left, for the last time today, we see the red Zerg, Bly. And his opponent at the bottom right, again for the last time today, it is going to be the blue Terran, uThermal! A bit of intro music from If2. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, by the way. I really appreciate that. Quick reminder that at the moment, this may change in the near future depending on how Twitch rolls things out. We are offering ad-free viewing to our subscribers. So if you do subscribe brand new with Twitch Prime or you gifted a sub, whatever, refresh the page. Otherwise, Twitch doesn't realize you're a subscriber because I don't want you to get slammed with commercials, my dude. But thank you very much. Also, because it was brought up a lot earlier, replay packs from these games are going to be made available through our Discord exclusively to subscribers and Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to check that out, please do. It is worth noting you get access to replays for cheaper on Patreon than by subscribing on Twitch. But pick and choose your battles because you get a lot of cool benefits like ad-free viewing and subscriber emotes and stuff here on Twitch. But of course, as much as I sell myself out, I must, of course, once again, shout out the tournament sponsors, DFY Esports. They come from company DFY Links. But most importantly, they put up the DFY Star League. That's the tournament that's happening right now. None of these awesome games would be possible without them. As far as I'm aware, they don't want you to buy any products. They don't want you to jump in and do any retweets or anything like that. They just want you to go enter their giveaway. They're trying to give away an iPad. Think about this. They threw a $1,500 tournament to try and give some of you an iPad. So please, go enter that giveaway if you haven't already. Exclamation mark giveaway in the chat, but also you can click the link down below the stream if you're not in chat with us today. Who won the very first match you watched or cast? Like, ever? That's way too long ago, man. I don't remember that. If you mean today, I don't even remember that. That was 4 hours ago. I don't remember. I just remember Showtime and Harstem had the best fucking series of a PvP I've seen in God knows how long. Some of my, like, old memories, though, man, just, like, not to be too old man crotchety about this, like, I'm thinking, like, Grubby versus, like, Sheth from like forever ago. Those were good games. Those were the days. Those were like the Zotac Cup days. That's when the TLMC meant something. And it wasn't just like a feeder fodder thing for Blizzard to maybe pick some maps and maybe not. uThermal's account names are only getting better. But I like Thermostat. He said he picked this one out specifically for Nation Wars. Which, by the way, again, uThermal had a pretty good showing in Nation Wars. I really expected to come in kicking ass today, but oh no. Wait, did the stream break? Did you guys see that? Was that just game lag? I heard the grenade ticking and going off, but it looked like everything froze there for a second. Did that freeze on stream too, or is that just me? Am I having like a moment here? Maybe I am crotchety and old. I don't know. Was that dementia? What the fuck? You guys saw it too? Okay. Because okay, if the stream didn't lag, then it was just the game, and that was a weird. I have not seen lag like that before. That was weird. Like the freezing I've seen before, but the fact that I still heard like the tick 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 of the grenade, it made me go, wait, what? What's happening right now? Dio somewhere nearby. Just the world, though. I'm experiencing it as a passerby. I don't know. Oh, let's see this message. I'm going to read this message blind. This is a risk. Ruglin says, mate, Rifkin, I'm 34, and this is maybe the 4th time I've ever written in chat. I had to wait 10 minutes since I had to follow to be able to chat, but I watched about 100 plus hours of your material. Tell me I'm real again, please. Dude, you the realist. Thank you for watching 100 plus hours. Thank you for wasting 100 plus hours of your time on my shit. Thank you, dude. This liberator picks off 2.5 roaches. That was actually really nice. So Charlie Sheen, his brother, and then kind of the kid died. That was a terrible show. I don't know why I just made that reference. That show was actually... You know what? When people talk about cringe, I think about 2.5 Men. I don't think about some IRL streamer dancing at a bar, talking to a girl for the first time. Oh, that show was hard to watch. Actually, Dr. Cashew brings up a good point. You watched 100 plus hours and didn't follow till now? No shame, dude. Don't even... So many people don't follow. That's why I have to constantly be annoying. But hey, guys, remember to follow the channel. I think that's why YouTubers do that, too. They tell everyone to subscribe. Like, for example, I'm shitty. I have watched Philip DeFranco, like, every day for, like, 3 years, and I'm not actually subscribed to his YouTube channel. I just manually search out Philip DeFranco show. I don't know. I imagine some people here are probably the same with Base Trade TV, so I can't even shame people about it. It's like Shroud. Shroud like, got guilted into subscribing to PewDiePie, right? Because he got called out in that one video. Watch you, well, you don't like Philly D, dude? Look, I gotta be honest. Sometimes he's a little bit much. I like watching Philly D though. I don't think there's any one YouTube channel I like love best that's on daily. But yo, if there's one channel I will like stand for, it's Nerd City. I didn't like those guys when they first started posting videos, but my god, nothing gets me more hyped than when I see that there's a new Nerd City video out. What's the purpose of following except getting more viewers? I mean, that's exactly the point. Just trying to get more viewers. If you are following the channel, there's a smaller chance that maybe you see me go live and say, hey, I'll watch Starcraft today, and you click the stream, right? Obviously, for the follower count, doesn't work for I got over 100,000 followers. I obviously don't have 100,000 viewers. Clearly, the following doesn't always mean anything, but it is nice to see that number from time and again and remember that there was, at some point, that many people who clicked the follow button. That at some point, that many people have been through your stream. You know what I mean? Obviously, countless more. But still, it's nice. The follower count means nothing to me, though, other than that, honestly. The YouTube channel, I would super love, though, if you guys subscribe to that. That's... that one's hard to build up. I don't know. We're so full-time on Twitch. I feel bad. I don't purposely neglect YouTube, but it's just not the priority like Twitch is. I love doing Twitch stuff. I love being live. Anyways, we've been talking about a bit of nonsense, but at the same time, some nonsense has happened in this game, as in... nothing that makes sense. The roach attack was a bit weird. Obviously, between the slow fields and the liberator positioning, easily warded off. No Nidus Worms coming out of Blah. uThermal playing pretty defensive with tanks. Playing Bio, by the way. Is this the first game of proper Bio in the entire series today? I like it, though. I think uThermal's Bio is really good, and I was actually a bit shocked to see mech so relentlessly throughout the series, but I think on Winter's Gate especially, this makes a lot of sense, and I like it a lot. Did you just unfollow me to follow me? You're so dumb. You just reset your follow age to 6 seconds. God damn it, Terminator. 1-1 will be done here in, speaking of seconds, for both players, actually almost exactly within the same time period for one another. Roach speed's done now, too. Oh, no. Are you guys all unfollowing to follow? Look what you've started. Why are you doing this? I can't... you guys can't see this because it comes up one at a time for you, but my list can't even keep up with you idiots who are all unfollowing and following the channel right now. Because... stop it! It's doing my... my mom bought this new laptop, guys! Stop it! My laptop's on fire! Okay, distraction tactics to the top side distracted me, but also distracted Bly a little bit. This allowed uThermal to push through the middle of the map. He set up siege tanks in a pretty good spot, but all of this is on creep against banelings that do have speed. It's a scary fight to take with bio like this, but between the slope fields and the tanks, he's hoping to take care of most of the banelings, and he does! Bly's front line gets obliterated! He still has a lot of Ravagers to work with, though, so he's not out of fight just yet, but the Baneling's pretty much removed from play. There's a couple in the back line struggling, but there's so many more Marines reinforcing, but he's in a slow field. I don't know how to feel about this. The slow field both works for and against him. Stop following the channel! I forget it! But he pushes through this. Now up about 20 army supply, and of course with Marines, he has no problems diving past corrosive biles, unlike things like siege tanks, which get stuck in spot. One siege tank set up on the right side here, too. Going to force corrosive biles on top of it, so that means the Marines are free to continue to stutter step forward, and as he does, he brings another tank to that front line. I don't know how many Marines are left, but it seems to be more than enough. Bly getting brute force down now by just a rally of Marines at the center of the field, and this macro game out of uThermal is strong. 10 Marines, a Marauder, relentless production here, and Medevac's just spreading out to see exactly where things are. There's no drones over here. There's nothing to worry about, so he puts his focus now towards the natural. Bly's got about 900 minerals, but no larva to work with. That is one of those heartbreaking ways to lose a game. To have this much money and just simply not be able to spend it. Oh, dedicated duck, not you too. My most loyal viewers and followers. Stop unfollowing me, only to refollow me. 88 army supply, 92 army supply. Bly's been able to get back up there, but this is Roaches and Ravagers. This is not a reliable kind of supply count. This is like a desperate kind of supply count. As you can see here, the Marines just... I love this. Stutter step, target fire, you name it, he's got it. Medevacs get picked off by corrosive biles, but uThermal's so far ahead at this point. I don't think you can lose this game. Maybe against the Banelings, if he fucks this up. Okay. This is the throw of the century right here. If he walks into those bands, but he doesn't. He backs away. He spreads. He's in range of the tanks. He's got this. Marauders holding firm. Marines not going down. Those splits were sexy. You freaking Thermal looking to close out this series here with this final push. Bly's on 2-2 for the melee, but you can see so much of this game has been around Roaches, so the only benefit he really has is the +2 armor. Maybe some from the Banelings if he gets to use them, but that's a big if. Roaches push in. A corrosive bile lands on the tank, but it doesn't even kill it. G gets called in. uThermal will advance to play the semifinals tomorrow.